everyone, my name is Miss Epp and I am a kindergarten teacher at Woodward Elementary, but I have taught lots of different grades and math is one of my favorite things to teach. And so today I am going to teach you all about geometry and ways to find math all around you. So we'll go through some things about geometry and shapes, and then you will have an activity that you can take a picture of and send to Mr. Johnson to be able to earn some great prizes and things. So let's get started. Geometry is actually the study of shapes and lines, but today we're going to primarily focus on shapes. So I made a presentation and then we will get into our activity. So let's get started. So here is a picture of a playground, and I think that when we are outside, there are so many shapes around us, but we don't often notice that math is in our everyday activities. So what are some shapes that you see here? I'll give you a second. You can tell someone next to you or write them down. Okay, so I see some cones. They look like upside down cones. They could also be more of a pyramid shape. Okay, so they're kind of rounded. They could be both. Here are some lines and squares. Okay, let's go to the next picture. This one's a little bigger. And I chose this playground because it's similar to part of our playground at Woodward. And this playground has some cylinders, okay, more of a cone shape. There's some squares, and it also has some lines, okay, the pillars of the monkey bars. They are lines, and these lines don't touch right here next to each other, so they're parallel. When they do touch, like up here, they are perpendicular. So they're making a T. That means they're perpendicular. When they're just right next to each other, not touching like a railroad track, that means that they are parallel. So if you are going outside today or in your backyard, think about the shapes that you see in your playground or whatever you may have in your backyard, and what kind of math do you see? Okay, so we're going to go over some of these shapes, and the first few slides are actually 3D shapes, and these shapes are ones that kind of stick out at you or you can pick up. So we have a cube, a rectangular prism, and a pyramid, okay? Then we have a cylinder, a sphere, and a cone. Next, we have some other shapes that you are familiar with: a square, circle, triangle, rectangle, and my favorite, the rhombus. And these shapes are considered flat shapes because you can not really pick them up. They don't stick out at you most of the time, so they are considered flat shapes. Next, this is where we put our math into practice. We are going to have a math scavenger hunt. Now, you can either do this outside or in your home or both, but we are going to do some math all around us. So, just a second. There we go. The computer got stuck. Sorry about that. So this morning, before I recorded this, I went around my house and found some math objects, or just some objects that I have around the house that kind of remind me of shapes and things that I might consider to have to deal with math. So I made this chart. Okay, you can make the chart however you want. So this is kind of like your math fun activity assignment. I made it in a grid form. You can make it in columns, and you can choose as many shapes as you want. So I chose 6 shapes. You could do as many, like 8 shapes, 4 shapes. You could even have a section for lines. But this is just my example. And I also drew a little picture above so that I knew what I was talking about. So here I have a lid. It is a candle lid, and it is a circle shape. So here I wrote where it says circle, I wrote the word lid. You could even draw a picture if you are not sure how to spell it, or spell it the best way you know how. So here's a lid. And then I went around my house and I have a post-it note. So post-it notes are square shape. And let's see, some Kleenexes. Okay, and this is kind of 2 shapes because it is a cube. Actually, more than 2 shapes. So it's a cube. And then on the front, there's circles. And on the top, there's the hole is kind of like an oval shape. So there are 3 shapes in one. Okay. And actually, the face of this is a square. So actually 4 shapes. So this was like math greatness right here. And then I have a box of spaghetti. Okay. And this box would be considered a rectangular prism. Okay, because you can pick it up, it sticks out at you. But on the side panels, they're just flat shapes, so they're rectangles. Okay. And there's some rectangles on this side. So some of the things that you may pick up, you might find many different shapes on them, like the Kleenex box or the box of spaghetti. There might be other shapes too that you are not sure of what they would be. So I have this Oreo container. Unfortunately, there are no more Oreos in it. But I chose it because it could be lots of different things. It kind of looks like a cone shape. If it was a little more pointed, it would be a cone. So it doesn't really work in the cone category. But this is to show that not all shapes have a perfect spot to go in. And here we do have some shapes. We have a triangle. We have more circles, the Oreos. Okay. There's a lid on top that is the circle. So even though you might not be sure if something is a shape, look closely because there's always shape somewhere. And you never can go wrong with Oreos. So that's a good thing. The next one that I have, and actually the last one that I chose for this presentation, is a roll of toilet paper. And a roll of toilet paper is a cylinder. Okay. You can think of either a roll of toilet paper, can of soup. There are lots of different shapes. And I didn't even go outside yet. These are just a few things that I chose from my house. Now I have to put it all away, but there are just a few things I chose from my house. So once you go around and collect your items, you can either draw a picture or you can write the words. So I would write toilet paper. Let me do that real quick. And what else did I have? I had the tissue box and the Post-it note. And there was a triangle on the Oreo container. I don't think I really had a cone, But see how I just filled out my sheet? Now, if I wanted to take more time, I could draw a picture too. So go around your house, go outside with your grown-ups' permission, and go on a scavenger hunt and think about as many different ways to find math in your environment around you. I hope you have a great time. I hope you are having a fun and safe summer. And remember, just like math is unique and important and makes the world around you, so do you. You all are unique, you all are important, and you all play a perfect role in our school community. Have a great day.